Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chillin with Chet. Today, I'm here again in Chandler, Arizona with a good friend of mine, Sean. He runs the shop here, Unique Car Audio. I asked them to help me out with this video I want to shoot today. This is kind of one that I really enjoy. I'm an old school bass head since, 1991. I first got my job at Jack in the Box and made enough money to get my first stereo system, which was 2 10s in a bandpass box with an extremely underpowered amplifier with no electrical help in the car, just like we all probably did when all the guys from the 90s when we first got into these. Now, you can have the most crazy system. You can hit decibels like with something like this that was winning competitions back in the day, hitting 150 decibels. This is a setup that I actually drive around with for the most part in my truck daily. But the video I want to bring to you today is a good example of what the average guy will want in his modern crew cab. We have a Ford F-150 today we might use, but mainly we're going to use my Chevy Silverado HD 2500. It does have a highly upgraded electrical system. It's fully dynamat inside. It's really set up to handle something like this. We're going to walk you all the way up from just like a single 10, all different speaker configurations in between, all the way up to something crazy and radical like this. So I just couldn't find that video out there. There's a lot of piecemeal videos. They're not shot very well.
Hey, you better watch what you're saying there, Chang.
No offense to some of you guys out there that are real bass heads that make these videos, but I just couldn't find anything that really suited what I was looking for. I want to see what the most radical thing is I could put in my truck, all the way to the most basic thing, which is, like I said, a single 10 in a sealed box. So I think that's where we're going to start right now. I got it all set up. So let's go ahead and jump in the truck and I'll kind of explain as we go along how this video is going to go today. Okay guys, so what we're going to start with is a JL10. We have a decibel reader over there. It actually doesn't read till 120 decibels. So we'll see if this 10 can even hit 120. In the back here, we got it pulled apart for ease so that we can just throw in a new speaker every time we want to throw in a new speaker setup and even a different amp setup. The amp that you see, that little small one there, is a little Deaf Bonce amp. It's very powerful. It's about 1,000 watts. It's actually a little overpowered for this little speaker, but it's going to work for now. And then we're going to graduate up as we go. So that's kind of the setup that you see. If you know anything about car stereos, the electrical, like I said, is really beefy. It runs at about 14.9. Without a strong draw. It'll probably stay right at about 14.9 the whole day until we get up and do the really big stuff, and then you'll see it dip down. So without further ado, let's jump in and see what this JL10 sounds like. Okay, so that's kind of what you get with a single 10. It's not overpowering bass. It's just enough to kind of equalize what I feel is if you have a nice, decent highs in your truck, maybe even a stock system, throw in something like this, it's going to make it, a little more rounded. Now, there's a lot of factory Chevy single 10-inch subwoofers and whatnot you can get these days. But if you really want to have a nice clean sound, you go with something like this, the little JL. You're not going to wake your neighbors up. You're not going to wake up the family when you get home from work. You're really just to be able to have a nice daily enjoyable speaker. So now I'm going to jump into this 210 JL box that we have set up. It's a sealed little box. We're going to get thrown in here and then we'll jump right back to it. Okay guys, so that was 2 10s. They're Rockford Fosgate. They're the shallow profile series. So also I will include all of the different speaker setups as we go down, speaker setup number 1, number 2 in the description, so you can go down and see exactly what we were running, what amp, what speakers, what box, what ohm load, that whole thing. So you guys can, copy it if you want to go after something that's similar to that. So with that one, we ran up to about a 121 with some uncopyrighted music that we can't really let you guys, we can't play. We got up to 122 and a half, which is, quite a bit more. It felt pretty good. I would say that is nice. I mean, you're going to start to hear that outside the truck a little bit more. but you know, it's not overwhelming. I think that's almost like the perfect entry level, really. Is just like 210, something of that nature. You don't have to have an electrical upgrade for that. You can just have it plug and play, use your normal head unit, and it's not going to really overpower you know, your factory speakers. Now we're going to start getting into something bigger. We're going to go with 212s, and that's about as big as you can get in a sealed under the seat box, and it should jump up a little bit in decibels. That's when you're going to want to maybe start upgrading your mids and tweets. Without further ado though, let's go grab that box, we'll throw it in, and we'll see how it sounds. Okay guys, there you have it. That's two JL12s. It's probably one of the bigger ones you can get for a truck that goes underneath the seat in the back. That's pretty nice. Actually, it had a really nice deep sound to it. The smaller speakers have a higher popping sound, probably better for if you listen to hard rock and whatnot. The bigger subs like these 12s, moving a little bit more air, running up to about 125 decibels, sound much better with, you know, your hip hop and your rap type music. But they're versatile because they're still in a sealed box, so you could definitely listen to rock with them as well. Maybe tune it a little bit different, you know, on your head unit, and you know, get the sound that you want. But you know, having 212s, I didn't even know that you could get 212s. So that was a new box that they had showed me that is pre-made for these Chevy Silverados. Now we're gonna start jumping up to some bigger, heavier duty speakers, basically. I have these 2.8s that we're gonna put in here. They're Sundowns. They're massive. I'll go through the stats below. I'll show them to you. And I think you guys will be really impressed. That's a tank. I don't know what that weighs. Probably 40 pounds maybe. This is what I think is really when you start getting up into needing much more amperage. You need to upgrade your electrical system, your batteries, your alternator maybe. So we're gonna make quite a bit of a jump here. I'm gonna say these are gonna jump up into the 130 decibel range. We're just gonna start feeling it a lot more. So again, without further ado, let's jump into those 2.8s. Okay guys, well there you have it. That is two Sundown X8 V3s. They're 800 watts RMS. We were pushing actually a little bit too much power with the setup that I have, and we had to tune it down quite a bit. They were clipping really bad, but as you can see, we got up to about 130, 131 decibels with the right music. I don't have enough copyright-free type music to really run through those and let you hear all of it, but just trust me, when we threw in some Megan Thee Stallion, she pumped it up way over 130 and really started getting full potential out of the system.
Nigga that's weak in the sheets and don't know how to please me.
Now we're gonna jump up to another massive setup. We're gonna go to 4.8s, but we're gonna go in a much bigger box. This is where the back seat needs to be taken out, and we're gonna start to get to the last two extreme ones, which is, like I said, these 4.8s, and then we're gonna wrap up with these two Sundown 15s. And that's what this system really can push. I'm hoping to maybe hit 150 decibels, so stay tuned. All right, well there you have 4.8s in a much bigger box. It's quite a bit more. We're what, 140 something decibels we're hitting there. Yeah, I think Megan Thee Stallion actually has some of the harder hitting stuff out there. We had the copyright free stuff that we'll show as well, but you know, it's hard to hit the high decibels with that. And like I said, I haven't been studying all those to know which one performs well with this particular setup. Now, the crazy thing about these 4.8s, and it's such a big box back there, is that with that much airspace, you can really hit the low tones and get a real full, rich bass. I think it's one of the better setups as far as all around sound and an extreme amount of bass. I mean, 140 decibels back in the day was very, very respectable. It still is today. I think, you know, your ears are start to hurt, you know, your face gets a little itchy. It's you know, probably not enough to do a hair trick or anything, but it's pretty good. We do have a resident expert, sound girl. I think we should try her out, see what she thinks, get a good reaction from her. What do you think? Yeah. All right, let's do that. What's your name?
Riley.
Riley. Do you have headphones?
Yeah, they're over there.
Can we get the headphones? Yeah. All right, we'll get some headphones. How old are you, Riley?
10.
And your dad works here, right? At Unique Car Audio?
Yeah.
Is that what your shirt is that you have on?
Yep.
Nice, representing. So we'll see. You gotta let me know. Thumbs up, thumbs down if you think it's a large amount of bass or not. If it's good, if it's just mediocre, you can just say mediocre. Okay? Like it's okay. So you have thumbs up, okay, or you need more. Because we have one more bass test after this one. We gotta see if you like it or not. You want to close the door and we'll get it started? Okay.
Wait, do you want to...
Yeah, put them on. That's the protector from Megan Thee Stallion, not the subwoofers. All right, here we go.
Shit, so it's fine.
Good amount of bass, right? Not bad. Did your nose tickle a little bit? Yeah, right? It always tickles. Your eyes get a little fuzzy. All right. Well, I say we have one more test. We throw the two 15s in here and see what it can really do. All right. Our last and final big test. Two 15 Sundowns in the back. With all the power they can handle. See what you think, okay?
Okay.
All right. So what do you think?
Really loud.
That was a lot louder than the last one, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, you could feel it. You could feel the air. Yeah, I could feel the air a lot more.
Yeah.
About 145 is what we were maxing at. That's pretty loud. So, all right, she handled it. She liked it. I think that was a success. Let's learn it a little bit more and see what we can do to this building right here.
So it's fine.
All right, guys, well, there you have it. All the speaker setups. We went through the 110, the 210s, the 212s, the two big 8s, the four big 8s, and then the two massive 15s at the end. You can see, I mean, when it really starts to push some air, it's just too loud. It's nothing that you want to listen to on a daily basis. It really hurts your ears. You're going to cause ear damage and, give yourself a headache every day. Some people really do. They bump pretty hard, but I would say they're probably in the 130s, and that's like a really loud range for a normal, everyday type car. Getting up over the 140s, 145. This system I've had about 148 before, not today. You have to have the right song and the right settings, and you can really kind of maximize what your decibel reading is. But for me, it's too much. I'm actually taking it out. We're gonna go back just to the two big 8s under the seat, call it a day. I also forgot to tell you guys, I do have a seat lift in the back. This gives you a little bit more room to get the bigger box in there, a little more airspace for those 8s. I would highly recommend that. I will find the link. We'll put it in a link below with all the different setups that we had in here. And also know that this truck is fully dynamated and has sound deadening all throughout, ceiling, floor, doors, everything, as well as like the, the maximum that you can get. I wouldn't say maximum, an upgraded electrical system with a 400 amp alternator and 4 lithium batteries, 2 under the hood, 2 in the back. It's very, very beefy, and it's like really overkill, but it's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to run 215s, and now that I've done it, it's actually too much. So I'm gonna tune it back down and just run the 2.8s on a daily. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the speaker equipment. Maybe I'll do it as a giveaway or something. I'm open to ideas because I don't really have a need for it anymore. And with the systems that I'm gonna be putting in my vehicles, it's just too much. So come up with some ideas. Make sure you guys subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And always remember, that's just another day chilling with Chet. It should just blow the tires off. Let's see. Woo! a fun car. What the fuck are you running down the street for? There's nobody down here.
Well, there will be soon.